Great. Hello, pianists. Today we are going to talk a little bit about warm-up techniques. I saw the video you sent me, Sophie. You are a fantastic player. I have very little to teach you on the side of classical piano, so we're going to do some jazz exploration over the next few weeks. I'll give you some pieces to work on, some techniques to work with. Today we'll talk about a scalar exercise that I use as a warm-up for almost every jazz session as a pianist, and we'll see what we can do with that. So I'm going to set the camera over here. You'll be able to see my hands. I will show you what's happening on my screen when you need to see what's happening. But we're going to talk first about the major scale. That is where we're going to start. B flat major is the center of the world for wind instruments and band instruments. So when you are playing with a wind band, you are playing generally in B flat first. So our B flat major scale has two flats. We will begin in B flat major. So let me make sure that I can mark this up. Boom, boom. We have, I'll bring this over here, our treble clef, and B flat has two flats. The key signature of B flat has two flats in it. We know this already, right? I'm going to move over, and then what we're going to go from B flat is go up a fourth to E flat. And E flat has three flats, B, E, and A. Gonna go up another fourth to A flat. A flat has four flats, B, E, A, and D, right? You're getting the idea. What you can see is this one has two flats, then three flats, then four flats. And then eventually we will move up to D flat, which is the next one up a fourth. That is going to be five flats, B, E, A, D. That's a terrible flat. I'm going to redo that one. Not saying the other ones are perfect. And then G, five flats. Those are our first four keys that we're going to focus on. I'm moving at a pretty rapid pace here based on what you sent me. Give me feedback when you get this and tell me how you're working with it. I'm going to give you a lot of content this week. See what you can do with it. So, if we know those are our first four keys, find your B flat major scale, one hand, and play it up. So B flat, C, D, B flat, F, G, A, B flat. That's one octave, right? Do it in your left hand. B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G, A, B. Right? Play them together. There's your B flat scale. Now what you are going to do, because we are playing in jazz, in jazz style, and we're going to play it in swing, not straight. So when you count in classical music, it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and for eighth notes, right? We've talked a little bit about this in class, and this is what we do a lot in middle school, but with jazz, you swing it. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So straight eighth notes would sound like 1 and 2 and, right? Jazz is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So give that a try. Your B flat scale separately, and then eventually together. Right? Now that's how you're going to play your scales when you're doing this for jazz, is all swung. At the end of every time you play one of these scales, what you need to do is play the first note together, then the third note, then the fifth note, then the seventh note. What you're doing there is arpeggiating a seventh chord. You're arpeggiating a B major 7, which is a very jazz chord. So it's going to sound like, so you're going B flat, D, F, A, F, D, B flat, right? So you have played the scale up, and then you have gone down, so, and then just jump back down an octave to 1, 3, 5, 7, 5, 3, 1. That is arpeggiating the 1 chord for that piece. Do it in both hands. And when you end the scale and end the arpeggio, you leave 4 beats right in the middle. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Right? 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So it's a syncopated figure. It's offbeat. Now once you have B flat down in both hands, you move to E flat, which you can go down or up for, and then do E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, C, D, E flat. There's your scale. Same style. Da 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 da, and then 1, 3, 5, 7, 5, 3, 1. For E flat, the first note is E flat, your third note is D, your fifth note is B flat, and your seventh note is a D natural, right? Because it's right before the root. That arpeggiates an E flat major 7. So the E flat by itself, with both hands, is 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Right? So if you put those two together, you're keeping a consistent beat. I'm going to put a metronome on. I highly recommend you do as well. So let me get that metronome up and running. You can start it at any speed you want. Make sure it's comfortable. I'm going to put it at 80 because that's where I naturally do most of my practicing. 1, 2, ready, go. Down to E flat. Up to A flat. Then to D flat. Made a mistake there. Keep going. Right? So there's the idea. I just did the first 4 scales, which are B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat. I'm adding 1 flat per time. So B flat has 2 flats, E flat has 3 flats, A flat has 4 flats, D flat has 5 flats. This might be beyond what you know theory-wise already, so if this is, I'll take it back and we'll learn all of these scales individually, but I wanted to deliver you this content to see what you could do with it. I'm going to keep giving you a little bit more here. So after D flat, you go up a 4th, and then get to G flat. So the next scale that we're going to talk about is G flat major, which has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 flats, right? One more than D flat up here. D flat has 5 flats, this has 6 flats. That scale looks like right? So G flat, A flat, or G flat, A flat, B flat, B, C flat technically, D flat, E flat, F, G flat, right? That one's the hardest flat scale. So maybe this week let's just work on flat scales, getting the way around. So setting our metronome, I'm going to do it one hand at a time and then both hands together. Starting with B flat, going through the circle of fourths, 5 keys to get to G flat. 1, 2, B flat first. 2, 3, 4. 2, E flat. 2, 3, 4. Up to A flat. Notice when I'm playing the chords, the arpeggiated chords. It's always the first note, the third note, the fifth note, the seventh note, right? We're going to be talking a lot about harmony during our lessons, because that's where we'll get into some pretty cool jazzy stuff, learn how to put together polychords. But that's why we're doing this first, so you can arpeggiate these chords pretty easily. Do it in the left hand. 1, 2, B flat, go. Ready now. 2, E flat. My mistake, to A flat. To D flat. To G flat. Then eventually we're going to head back to B natural, which is going to be when we get into the sharp keys. That's 5 sharps on B. We'll work on that next week. What I would like you to send to me this week is both hands together, doing it as well as you can at 80 beats per minute with these 5 scales. So I will do it once as an example. Practice along with the recording of me. Practice by yourself with a metronome. I have no doubts you'll do totally fine with this. And email me if you have any questions. I'll be able to get back to you pretty quickly. And here it is with both hands. Forgive my fingerings. My fingerings are not as perfect as they used to be. 1, 2, ready, go. 2, 3, 4. 2, E flat. 2, 3, 4. To A flat. 2, 3, 4. Down to D flat. 2, 3, 4. Down to G flat. And that's it for this week. So work on those 5 scales, your B flat major, E flat major, A flat major, D flat major, G flat major. These are keys that a pianist by themselves normally doesn't play in a lot. But because you're learning as a band instrumentalist, this is the kind of stuff that's going to be super useful. I anticipate not only having you on bells, but also having you accompany the band on piano, because clearly through the videos you showed me, you are very good at classical piano, and this is just going to be a different exploration of a different genre. Email me if you have any questions. Look forward to hearing from you. Look forward to hearing you play. Talk to you soon.